Leadership is fueled by vision and passion. Leadership is service with empathy, creativity, and integrity. Leadership is seeking continuous improvement for yourself and your community. Since 1873, the University of North Georgia has prepared generations of civic, professional, and military leaders. Today, UNG is a leading regional university that serves students across 5 campuses and online, with educational pathways ranging from associate degrees to doctoral programs. And as one of only 6 senior military colleges in the nation, UNG holds designations as a state leadership institution and as the Military College of Georgia. UNG's national reputation and student profile are growing stronger each year, and we remain focused on student success and academic excellence at all levels. Across UNG, our incredible faculty and staff are scholars and mentors who inspire service, inquiry, and creativity. And resume-building experiences help each student fulfill their potential. We know the value of determination and teamwork in and out of the classroom, and this spirit pushes our students to excel on the field, serve our communities, and explore the world. When the day is done, the real measure of our success lies in who our graduates become. Outstanding leaders for a diverse and global society. The University of North Georgia.
Good evening. Please rise for the processional.
Please be seated. It is my honor as president of the University of North Georgia to welcome you to the summer 2019 commencement ceremony. On behalf of the entire university community, I extend warm and sincere congratulations to each of these fine scholars and to their families and their friends. Our hopes and our dreams are with them today. This is a day of celebration for our graduates, but also a day of celebration for the university. As we begin our ceremony, please join me in thanking Dr. Jamie Mitchum, Faculty Marshal, and Dr. Joe Chapman for the inspiring processional. Please stand. I would indeed be remiss if I did not pause to recognize all the mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, partners, children, grandparents, other relatives, and friends who stood behind our students and assisted them throughout their college careers. Thank you for supporting our students. And students, today is a wonderful day. Here you are, donned in academic regalia, whose design dates back to the Middle Ages and symbolize your achievement and your commitment. The right to wear these robes is an honor that must be earned, and indeed you have earned that right. We are here to honor you with the richest tradition of our academic community, a commencement ceremony celebrating the completion of your degree and the beginning of your professional lives. As you know, UNG holds a special designation within the University System of Georgia as a state leadership institution. As such, UNG has a very strong reputation for producing civic, professional, and military leaders, and our graduates are known as individuals committed to high personal integrity, civic engagement, and community service, and of course, academic excellence. We have expected a lot of you students, and you have delivered. I trust that the foundation you have received through UNG will be a catalyst for your future success. And I know that as graduates of UNG, you will add value and meaning to the lives of many others around you. Again, congratulations on this milestone in your life. At this time, I invite the UNG Men's Quartet, one of our music students, to lead us in singing the national anthem. Will you please stand?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It is my honor as Provost to join President Jacobs in welcoming you to today's ceremony. President Jacobs noted that UNG is a state leadership institution, and we are committed to that role and to using our institutional values of excellence, student focus, integrity, engagement, and service to help our students graduate as leaders with character. Leadership expert Tim Elmore describes leadership like an iceberg. The 10% above the water is your skill. The 90% below the water is your character, the sum of your self-discipline, core values, sense of identity, and how you express yourself. As a UNG graduate, you have the knowledge, skills, and character to solve challenging problems. You have learned the value of teamwork, of perseverance, and leadership. Our mission calls us to prepare students to be leaders in a diverse and global society. As such, you have been exposed to multiple and often competing perspectives in an environment that is welcoming, inclusive, and respectful of all individuals. As the university's Chief Academic Officer, I recognize the important role of our faculty in helping you to identify and develop your potential and to prepare you for leadership wherever your life takes you. I commend our faculty for their commitment to our students' personal and professional development and for their leadership and dedication to their disciplines. Would all of the members of the faculty who are here today, including those on the platform, please rise so that we can recognize you. Thank you. Before we continue with the program, please allow me to introduce the remaining members of our platform party. Would you all please stand as your name is called? Dr. Mac McConnell, Senior Vice President for Business and Finance. Dr. Richard Oates, Vice President for Gainesville Campus. Dr. James Keneally, Vice President for Student Affairs. Mr. Jeffrey Turnowski, Vice President for University Advancement. Dr. John Leba, Dean of the College of Science and Mathematics. Dr. Jeff Turk, Director of the Institute for Environmental and Spatial Analysis. Dr. Carol Adams, Dean of University College. Dr. Mark Spraker, Professor of Physics and the reader for today's ceremony. Dr. Timothy May, Associate Dean of the College of Arts and Letters. Dr. Sherry Hardy, Dean of the College of Education. Dr. Isa Norbaksh, Professor of the Department of Physical Therapy. Dr. Mary Gowan, Dean of the Mike Cottrell College of Business. Colonel Joshua Wright, Professor of Military Science. Ms. Wendy Hughley, Director of Alumni Relations and Annual Giving. Thank you, and please be seated. It is now my honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Rodney Bullard. Mr. Bullard has a special connection to UNG in that his mother, an educator, taught in our early childhood education program in the late 1990s. Mr. Bullard leads Chick-fil-A's community engagement, philanthropic, and sustainability strategy, as Vice President of Corporate Social Responsibility and Executive Director of the Chick-fil-A Foundation. The work of the Chick-fil-A Foundation is focused on youth, education, and community revitalization. After earning a degree from the Air Force Academy, where he also played football, he received a law degree from Duke University and an MBA from the University of Georgia. He also completed the Harvard Business School's Advanced Management program. He was selected as a White House Fellow, the nation's most prestigious public service fellowship, and he was placed at NASA, working directly for the NASA administration. Mr. Bullard also served at the Pentagon as a congressional legislative liaison in the Office of the Secretary of the Air Force. Before joining Chick-fil-A, Mr. Bullard served as an assistant U.S. attorney where he prosecuted complex criminal cases and earned the Department of Justice Director's Award. In 2018, he published Heroes Wanted, Why the World Needs You to Live Your Heart Out. Please help me welcome Mr. Rodney Bullard to UNG.
Good evening. Now, I know you all can do better than that. I just drove what I think is 5 hours from Atlanta. So good evening. Thank you all. And I have to apologize up front, Dr. Jacobs. I don't have Chick-fil-A in hand, so I apologize. But we may be able to work something out next time I come. How about that? So President Jacobs, thank you for having me. Dr. Gill, thank you as well for your kind introduction. Faculty, friends, family, thank you all. Class of 2019, thank you all for having me as well. It's an honor to be a part of your celebration and your matriculation. It's interesting that the word leadership was used, that this is a leadership institution. It is interesting and it is profound. In my own life, I recall an instance when I was 6 years old. And my father was a graduate of Morehouse College. And Morehouse College, as you know, matriculated Dr. King and many others. And my father loved his college president, who was Dr. Benjamin E. Mays. And my father, when I was 6 years old, put me on the phone with an aging Dr. Mays. And Dr. Mays, although he was at the end of his life, still was imparting wisdom. And I was at the beginning of my journey. And I don't remember much about the phone call, if I'm honest. I really wanted to get back to my G.I. Joes and a cartoon. But I do remember this. Dr. Mays said, Rodney, I want you to get as much education as you can. I want you to go out and I want you to see the world. I want you to have great experiences. I want you to do as much as you can. But I want you to remember this, that education, that's not for you. That those experiences, they aren't solely for you. That the opportunities you're given, that they are not for you. But your call is to be a leader. And your reasonable service is to take that education and to go back and help somebody else. It always stuck with me. This notion of leadership. What is leadership? What's the definition of leadership? It led me to the United States Air Force Academy. And I remember getting off the bus at the Air Force Academy, and they shaved my head, and my hair never grew back. And I got off the bus, and the first thing they did was they yelled at me. And I said, this doesn't feel like leadership. And what I came to understand was that followership is a strong principle that you must understand for good leadership. If we think back in our own lives, we know when we had good leaders in our lives, folks who uplifted us, made us feel like we could do anything, made us want to be better. And we know those times and recall those times when we had less than good leadership. When someone made us feel small, insignificant, less than. And the importance of those lessons and those experiences are so that when we have the opportunity, when you graduate and you have the opportunity, when you go to that job and you have the opportunity, that you think about being a good leader. In my own life, I've had the experience of a good leader. I wrote a book called Heroes Wanted. And Heroes Wanted is a very simple treatise. The premise is that we all can be someone else's hero, and that we all have the obligation and the ability to be someone else's hero. And in my own life, I recall when I was in first grade. When I was in first grade, I attended a very prestigious private school that my mother, an educator, my father, a Baptist minister, was scraping to send me to. And frankly, I didn't know that they were scraping to send me to this school. I had no clue. But what I did know was I was having a difficult time when I was there. That when I was there, I was having a difficult time reading, and I was embarrassed. And at some point, my mother received a call. An administrator on the other end of the phone said, "Mrs. Bullard, Rodney is a fine young man, but he's not reading on grade level. And we would like to place him in a developmentally slower class." And my mother, an educator herself, had a very difficult decision to make. She thought about all of the ramifications of putting her son in a developmentally slower class. She then decided to move me. She moved me to another school that was less prestigious, that no longer is in existence, called Rainbow Christian Church School, Decatur, Georgia, Columbia Drive. And I got there, and I remember meeting this little lady. She was about yay tall. I was taller than her even in first grade. And I thought two things. One, this is the first gnome I have ever met in my life. And two, I am definitely afraid that this lady may find out my secret. She may find out that I am not reading on grade level. And in fact, I had come there in the middle of the school year, and I sat down in my seat, and I tried to be as inconspicuous as possible, but she found out that I wasn't reading on grade level. And at the end of the school year, she called my mother as well, and she said, "Mrs. Bullard, Rodney's a fine young man, but he's not reading on grade level." But what she said next was profound. She said, "I see potential in Rodney, and I would like to invite him to my home on a daily basis so that I can tutor him." And I thought to myself at the time that this was a life sentence. I was giving up my summer to spend time with this little lady in her home. And now as an adult, what I realized is that she was giving up her summer too. And she taught me to read phonetically. And at the end of the summer, I was reading 2 and 3 grade levels ahead of my peers. You see, Mrs. Adams didn't have a cape. She wasn't a billionaire. She couldn't scale tall buildings. But she is and was a hero. The lesson for us today is that it doesn't matter who you are, where you came from. Each and every one of us has the ability to be someone else's hero. Oftentimes we say, if only I had more money, if only I had this degree, if only I had this. This next story helps me illustrate really how we should think about if only. In closing, a friend of mine is a gentleman by the name of Dr. Gregory Ellison. He is a professor of theology at Emory School, the Candler School. And he tells this story that when he was a young man, he had an Aunt Dot. And he looked up to his Aunt Dot. He revered his Aunt Dot. And he would always ask her hard questions. He would quiz her. And one day, he thought he had something to stump Aunt Dot with. He had been watching the news, he had been listening to the radio, and so he came up to Aunt Dot and he said, "Aunt Dot, I have a question for you." And she said, "Greg, ask me your question." He said, "No, it's a big question, Aunt Dot." And she said, "Greg, ask the question." And he said, "Aunt Dot, how do you change the world? How do you change the world? I see so much strife and division. I see so much polarization. I see so many ills in this world. How do you change the world?" And it was a big question, particularly from the mouth of a young man. And Aunt Dot had to think about it. And as she pondered, she leaned in and she said, "Greg, I'll be honest with you. I don't know how you change the world, but I do know this. I know you can always impact the 3 feet around you. I know that you can connect with someone. I know you can find someone who might be different than you. I know that you can find a problem and notice problems that are right within your view. I know that you can impact the 3 feet around you. So the question was that we often ask ourselves, if only I could do so much more. But the real answer is only you have your 3 feet. And we should turn that on its head. Only I can help someone. In my case, only Mrs. Adams could have helped me. Whose Mrs. Adams are you? As I prepare to take my seat, I'll have one pop quiz for you all. Now, I told you my father's a Baptist minister, so you're going to have to forgive me for what I do next. If you all could rise. This is not graduation. Don't turn your tassels yet. If you all could just grab hands. Grab hands. Now take a look around. Look around one another. Now the question that was asked by a young Greg Ellison was, how do you change the world? And as I see you grasping hands, and I see the diversity of people, the diversity of thought, the diversity of origin, as I see you all holding hands, I see one humanity. I see one North Georgia. And the question is, how are you going to use your 3 feet? And really, the thought that I hope you think about is if you use your 3 feet, and you use your 3 feet, and you use yours, and you use yours, and you do so with the intentionality and the same awareness as you hold one another's hand, as you recognize that we are more alike than we're different, that we really are one. And if we connect and we each use our own special superpower, our 3 feet, then we can change North Georgia. We can change Dahlonega. We can change Georgia. We can change the world. I commend you to be leaders. Live up to the creed of this school. Go change the world.
Thank you, Mr. Bullard, for sharing those inspiring stories and for calling us to be superheroes and impacting our 3 feet. Among our graduates today are students who have surpassed the academic standards as set forth by our faculty, and it is my pleasure to recognize these honor graduates for their commitment and their dedication. The names of these students are listed in your program, and they will be recognized individually as they receive their diplomas. So will you please hold your applause until all groups stand? Will the baccalaureate students who are graduating summa cum laude please stand and remain standing? Yeah, go ahead. These students have earned a grade point average between 3.9 and a 4.0 on a 4.0 scale. Stay standing. Will the baccalaureate students who are graduating magna cum laude please stand and remain standing? These students have earned a grade point average between 3.7 and 3.89 on a 4.0 scale. Will the baccalaureate students who are graduating cum laude please stand and remain standing? These students have earned a grade point average between a 3.5 and a 3.69 on a 4.8 scale. Yes. Will all associate degree students who are graduating with distinction please stand and remain standing? These students have earned a grade point average of a 3.5 on a 4.0 scale. Let's all recognize these outstanding graduates. You may be seated. Members of our Corps of Cadets who ranked in the top 20% of more than 5,000 cadets on the National Order of Merit list will graduate as distinguished military graduates. the highest honor an ROTC student can achieve. Will the distinguished military graduates please stand and remain standing? Academic, woo, yes. Academic honor societies recognize students who have excelled both academically and as leaders among their peers. Will all graduates who are members of university and departmental academic honor societies please stand? Please join me in recognizing these students. You may be seated. We will now confer the degrees. Will all candidates for the associate's degree please stand? President Jacobs, I present to you the candidates for the associate's degree as listed in the printed program. Each of these candidates has successfully completed the requirements for the degree as set forth by the faculty, and I commend these candidates to you for the conferral of their degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I award to you the associate degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining, and I welcome you to the company of scholars. At this time, please move those tassels from right to left. Congratulations.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for all bachelor's degrees please stand? President Jacobs, I present to you the candidates for the bachelor's degree. Each of these candidates has completed the requirements of the degree as set forth by the faculty, and I recommend these candidates to you for the conferral of their degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I award to you the bachelor's degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining, and I welcome you to the company of scholars. Please move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations.
Please be seated. Will the candidates for all master's degrees please stand? President Jacobs, I present to you the candidates for the master's degree. Each of these candidates has completed the requirements of the degree as set forth by the faculty, and I recommend these candidates to you for the conferral of their degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I award to you the master's degree with all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining, and I welcome you to the company of scholars. Congratulations.
Please be seated. We will now call forward the graduates to be recognized individually. I invite Dr. Mark Spraker to take his place to announce the graduates. Marshals, please lead the graduates forward.
We now present the Associate of Science degree graduates from the University College. Brittany Lee Fitz. Miracle Brinson Bailey. Madison Victoria Carter. Alicia Merle Colligan. Connor David Jones. Sarah Renee Johnson. Allison Pooja Naidu. Caitlin Victoria Parker. Haley Prince. Carly Shanice Staggers. Amber Lane Wiley. We now present the Associate of Science degree graduates from the College of Education. Candace A. Archer. Olivia Francesca Cantrell. We now present the Associate of Science degree graduates from the College of Health Sciences and Professions. Alexis Tiara Peters. We now present the Associate of Applied Science degree graduates from the Mike Cottrell College of Business. Laura G. Butler. Edreline Tabilaran Bate. Andrew Stephen Brady. Sandy R. Clark. Jasmine Lachey Hatcher. Timothy Douglas Madsen with distinction. Kyle Lee Moon. Travis Lynn Pittman. Lee Zong. Salvador Ceja Huerta. We now present the Associate of Science degree graduates from the Mike Cottrell College of Business. Juan P. Ospina. We now present the Bachelor of Science degree graduates from the University College. Lisa Cuevas. Hannah Grace Porter. Rachel Ann Roberts. Monique L. Walton. We now present the Bachelor of Arts degree graduate from the College of Arts and Letters. Second Lieutenant Christopher Edmund Bissett, cum laude and distinguished military graduate. Second Lieutenant Jasper E. Bridgman, Jr., magna cum laude and distinguished military graduate. Macy Danielle Brinnone. Taylor Dwayne Burgess, cum laude. Benjamin Ballard Cagle. Second Lieutenant Henry Hutchison Crawford, magna cum laude and distinguished military graduate. Jenna Marie Ellis. Ellie Madison Gravett. Whitley Lynn Grindle, cum laude. Christopher Addison Hawkins, cum laude. Isabella Eramia Honeycutt. Kylie Nicole Jeffries. Leslie Caton Jones. Elizabeth Dowling McLean. Zachary Paul McCollum, summa cum laude. Tiffany Irene Muse. Joshua LeClinton Potters. David M. Russo. Melissa Clementina Silva, cum laude. Yvonne L. Sprinkle, cum laude. Sarah Allison Webb. Colette Alexis Whittemore. We now present the Bachelor of Science degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters. Stephen Spencer Aldridge. Sierra Rose Auckland. Bryce Robinson Baker. Madeline Faye Ballantyne. Sarah Catherine Christina Barnes. Charlie Donald Barrett III. Marie Elise Blackwell. Kylie Marie Clay. Samuel Matthew Cowart. Matthew James Broom, cum laude. Catherine Christopher Hertz. Gisela Cruz. Savannah Bell Dent. Montana Ray Doran. Mary Kathleen Eel. Ajanea Shea Jinama. William Smith Graddick. Betsy Guadalupe Garcia. Peyton Marie Haddock. Bailey T. Hankins. Carla Larissa Harkins. Lauren Celeste Hutton. Ansley Taylor Janes. Jameson Leon Jenkins. William Harris Jenkins. Christina Marie Johnson, magna cum laude. Ashley Michaela Justice. Lucas Daniel Cayley, magna cum laude. Lauren Ashley Kennedy. Kellen Austin Kern. Rachel D. Mason. Cheyenne Lincoln C. McClellan. Madeline Gail McCree, cum laude. Madison Marie McVeigh. Natalie Morales Villa, magna cum laude. Jose A. Moreno. Second Lieutenant Harrison Taylor Murdoch. Coleman Lee O'Connor. Isabella Asi Abakuma Ogawa. Bailey Shea Parr. Brooke Lachelle Putnam. Second Lieutenant William Morose Renner. Abigail Lisa Rogers. Griselda Sacedo. Amber Keeley Skidgel. Cindy R. Smith. Cecilia Fidelis Sunday. Zoe Kate Tidd. Jonathan P. Tiller. Second Lieutenant Madeline Michelle Tipton. Jason Richard Trowbridge. Bruce Edward Tucker. Madison Page Turner. Jeremy Forrest Weiner. We now present the Bachelor of Science in Film and Digital Media degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters. Nicholas Vaughn Adams. Sean Augustus Atkinson. Nicholas John Brisby. Elena Nakul. We now present the Bachelor of Science degree graduates from the College of Education. Summer Marie Armstrong, magna cum laude. Ashton Elizabeth Culpepper, cum laude. Luke Hamilton Davis. Brendan Ukadesi Dowbridge William. Matthew Horace G. Casey Michelle Gibson, cum laude. Ashton Brooke Green. Steve Edwin Hill. Charles Patrick Hilton, cum laude. Second Lieutenant Jackson Christopher Howard. Mary Owen Howell. Catherine Lucille Muloof, summa cum laude. Julie Ann Nicole McKee. Ryan P. Miller. Rachel Heidi Munoz, summa cum laude. Kimberly Ashley Parker. Chelsea Renee Schleenbaker. Catherine Day Seegers. Megan Miranda Sellers, magna cum laude. Brandon Lee Shelton. Anna Kathleen Speltz. Bradley Scott Tansky, magna cum laude. Laura Adeline Tate. Autumn Renee Wasden. Caitlin Ray Wilson. We now present the Bachelor of Science in Elementary and Special Education degree graduate from the College of Education, Megan May Moriarty. We now present the Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree graduates from the College of Health, Sciences, and Professions, Christy Clinton Autry, magna cum laude. Carrie Ann Fraser. Jonalisa Kelly, magna cum laude. Alicia Anina Wolf. We now present the Bachelor of Science degree graduates from the College of Science and Mathematics. Alexander Ryan Anderson. Latham Morgan Armour. Caitlin Ann Bender. Dylan Brian Birch. Rory Christ Brinkman. James Earl Brown, Jr. Hannah Mackenzie Carroll. Alexander James Sarin. Rachel Lee Cottrell. Anastasia L. Huck. J. Alex Hilton. Kaylin Dale Patterson. Catherine Ann McDonough. Daniel Arturo Mejia. Catherine Marie Morgan. Mackenzie Virginia Mull. Marcy Bedgood Murphy. Rachel Leah Odell. Destin Avery Poole. Tiffany A. Rohr. Christina Renee Scott. Jefferson Davis Thigpen, cum laude. We now present the Bachelor of Applied Science degree graduates from the Mike Cottrell College of Business. Tanya Michelle Hester. We now present the Bachelor of Business Administration degree graduates from the Mike Cottrell College of Business. Lindsay Ann Allison, cum laude. Kyle Scott Anderson. Mary Bethany Bailey. Ian Walter Bakes. Michael J. Barney. Logan Matthew Bell. Second Lieutenant Andrew Christopher Benson. Emily Lynn Brogdon. Logan E. Burt. Peyton Lee Byers. Alyssa Ann Chandler. Rachel Margaret Carr. Cassidy Brooke Cloud. Second Lieutenant Aaron Boaz Craddock. Sabrina Alina DeRusso. Christina Catherine Dimas Barocio. Lauren LeRae Floyd. Michael Timbong Funge. John Emery Freeman. Luis Fuentes. Yesenia Garcia. Jonathan Blake Glover, magna cum laude. Jordan Carpenter Green. James Michael Hall. Dylan Keith Haney. Robert F. Harris. Canada Monroe Heener, magna cum laude. Arturo Hernandez Huerta. Meredith Brooke Jones. Chelsea Brianna Jordan. Emily Renee Kasmoric. Benjamin A. Lazo. Chandler Austin McCullough. Madison K. Teresa McGuire. David Luwale Mutetere. Madison Danielle Nice Wonder. Matthew Avery Parks. Leah Ashley Positon. Samuel Allen Pippin. Lauren Nicole Rains. Fernando Ismael Rivas Ortiz. Griffin Lane Self. Skylar Ann Smith, magna cum laude. Micah Perry Strickland. Cassidy Morgan Sullins. Second Lieutenant Hannah Marie Terwilliger. Benjamin Heston Boyd Thomason. Tony Mong Zong Thor. Chapman Douglas Tinker. Fawn V. Cum laude. Cindy L. Wilbanks, magna cum laude. Zachary Luke Willis. Alicia Nicole Wood. Stephen Edward Wysocki. We now present the Bachelor of Science degree graduates from the Mike Cottrell College of Business. Second Lieutenant William Patrick Hand. Tyler Christian Moon, summa cum laude. Nathaniel Cap Moore. Connor William Mullen. Justin Alexander Nation. Joshua David Noel. Ethan Taylor Smith. Ryan J. Smith. Tyler Dean Teague. We now present the Bachelor of Science degree graduates from the Institute of Environmental and Spatial Analysis. Caleb Sheldon Davis, cum laude. Stephen McLeod Gray. Tina Yang, summa cum laude. Cleon Walden II. We now present the Master of Arts degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters. Jessica Hebenstreet. Leah McCord. We now present the Master of Arts in International Affairs degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters. Lauren Billett. Edna Rogers. We now present the Master of Public Administration degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters. Mary Butel. William Bush. Jordan Livesey Tetley. We now present the Master of Science degree graduates from the College of Arts and Letters. Kinsey McDowell. Laura Antonelli. Randy Reagan. We now present the Master of Education degree graduates from the College of Education. Judith G. We now present the Master of Science degree graduates from the College of Education. Andrea Hooks. We now present the Master of Accountancy degree graduates from the Mike Cottrell College of Business. Tyler Edelberg. Eric Lopez Ferreira. Nathan Mayer. Dylan Warren. Susan Wellborn.
I commend the most recent graduates of the University of North Georgia. Your hard work and dedication have been rightfully rewarded. I offer my personal congratulations to you for earning the title of graduate from this fine institution. And I ask that everyone please join me in recognizing this graduating class. Please be seated. Graduates, judging from the applause, it is clear that each of you should be very proud of your accomplishments. So at this time, I would like you, the graduates, to join me in a standing round of applause to thank your families, your friends, and others who have given you support in the pursuit of your degree. Thank you. You may be seated. Graduates, you are now lifetime members of the UNG community. We are confident that you will make us very proud wherever your journey may lead, and we look forward to hearing of your achievements. I now call on Ms. Wendy Hughley, Director of Alumni Relations, for her congratulatory remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Jill. Graduates, congratulations. You are now officially alumni of the University of North Georgia. I ask that you wear that badge of honor proudly. It is truly my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the Board of Directors of the entire University of North Georgia Alumni Association and alumni family. If you talk to anyone who's ever graduated from university, I think that they would share that since graduation, they've realized that the true learning really only has just begun. It's the day in and day out grind of life that often tests who you really are and who you will become once you leave here. Further, they would share that the hard work and the effort that they put into their classes was critical to their success. Perhaps most important, though, I think that the lesson they learned was that the relationships that they formed as they managed their time through school also impacted their success, in some cases as much as their own individual effort did. So I want you to do three things for me before you leave. And you're almost over, but three things. First, I want you to stop and think about the people that you've met that are also graduating today. Look around. That special friend or study group that you met through the process, that person that you met the first day of school, you didn't know anybody, and you moved into the residence hall scared to death. Or I want you to think about these faculty members on the first rows up here who've made a tremendous impact on your interest in a subject. Think about how they've impacted your life. You are the reason they get up and do what they do every day. Whether you know it or not, they love you, and you are the reason that they are here. So in addition to celebrating your degree, I want you to celebrate the relationships that have accompanied your journey. Don't forget them. These relationships, no matter the distance, will stay with you forever, and on certain very difficult days may continue to be all that you need to make it through to the next day. Second, I want to encourage you to stay involved as alumni of the University of North Georgia. Stay in touch with us through social media, the UNG alumni website, et cetera, the newsletters that we send out, you name it. LinkedIn, join us tonight. Consider becoming an active part of a young alumni board or a shared interest group. Join the Alumni Association. These groups offer a great way to network and stay connected with your classmates, meet other alumni, and are a good way of just giving back a little bit of your time. Finally, most important, I want you to be proud of your alma mater. As with all alumni, you're going to see changes over the years. Buildings will change, programs will change, faculty will retire, some will come and go. Some traditions will be lost, and others will be born. And one day, you too are going to go back to your campus, and you're going to say, man, it has really changed since I was in school here. Some things have changed and may change again, but the essence of the University of North Georgia, even the North Georgia that I experienced and graduated from some 30 years ago, has not changed. It has not changed for the alumni that attended 50 years ago, nor has it changed for the graduates of 5 years ago. There's something special about North Georgia. It's like a family. And as a graduate and a new alumni, once again, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the family. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. One of the many things that makes the University of North Georgia such a special place is our designation as one of only 6 senior military colleges in the United States. I would now like to call forward Lieutenant Colonel Mark Legaspi to conduct the commissioning ceremony for our military science graduates who are commissioning as second lieutenants. These graduates were recognized individually earlier in ceremonies with their family and friends.
Good evening. Will the commissionees please stand? Please remove your cap and gown at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, the University of North Georgia has produced some of the finest officers for the United States Army for more than over 146 years. The officers present tonight represent over 102 lieutenants expected to commission from the university this year. Their journey to this point is a culmination of over 4 years of hard work and dedication to the academic studies, the Corps, leadership, training, and mentoring fellow cadets. The oath that these officers are about to take signifies a commitment to defend the freedoms, ideals, values, and interests of our nation. So, commissionees, raise your right hand and repeat after me nice and loud. I state your full name. Having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the Army's newest second lieutenants.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Legaspi. As we conclude today's ceremony, I want to especially thank all of the staff involved with the planning and execution of this ceremony and for making it such a special occasion. The UNG Men's Quartet will come forward to lead us in the University of North Georgia alma mater, which can be found near the back of your program. Following the alma mater, please remain in place for the recessional as the faculty and the graduates exit the arena. At the conclusion of the recessional, please exit through the lobby doors to meet your graduates on the plaza. Thank you, and will you now please stand for the alma mater?
From the Blue Ridge mountain foothills to the banks of Lake Lanier, memories of our alma mater we all cherish and revere. Seeking courage, truth, and wisdom, fires of loyalty abound. University of North Georgia, from diverse and solid ground. Standing tall, salute your history. To the blue and gold we rise. Look beyond the distant sunset. See the future in our eyes. To our school we bring you glory. May we always honor thee, keeping memories deep within us. and our love